Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's dustinkreis and today we're coming from a different venue. This is actually in my living room because the wife's not here and I can film wherever I want, so why not? Today, we'll see how many of these I post. I'm planning on doing at least 2 music discussions today because one album I picked up not too long ago, and then a new album came out yesterday, so I kind of want to talk about it too. So there'll be this video, and then there'll be another one, and then we'll get back to video games because that's the reason why most of you guys are here. But it's my channel, and I have different interests, and I like to talk about them. So that's why we're doing this. But Panzer Dragoon Saga, I will probably be finishing it up within the week, so there'll definitely be a video discussion on that, and I'll tell you guys whether or not I think it's worth the entry price. So look forward to that. I'm also playing Ys Origin, which I'm really loving. So I don't know. I might wait until I get all of the 3 storylines finished in that before I do a discussion on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the discussion here and get it out of the way. Why not? Today we're going to be talking about Sigur Ros and their new album Valtari. And I've actually thought about not doing this video. I'm going to give it an honest go here and see how it goes. But it might not show up on the site. So, because it's just such a hard album to describe. Because Sigur Ros for me is one of those bands that I'm just kind of really emotionally tied to, and that's mostly because the band is from Iceland. All of the songs are sung in either Icelandic or in a made-up Hopelandish language in case of one album. So you really have to kind of make up your own meanings to the songs, unless you're from Iceland or you know how to speak Icelandic, and then you know exactly what they're singing. But if you're like me and you don't know how to speak the language, you have to sort of find your own meaning in it. And in a lot of ways, that really ties the music to certain moments in your life and certain events, and really kind of makes it hard to listen to some songs going back and kind of reliving moments and stuff. But at the same time, you form such a sort of a bond with the music that it's hard to describe. So hopefully I can get something across to you about this band. But the first time I heard the band was probably in 2002 or 2003, and it was their second album that I heard, which is Algætis Bæjarinn. And I apologize, I'm going to be butchering Icelandic all throughout this video, so if you're from Iceland, please forgiveness. But my friend and I, we would stay up late nights and listen to and discuss music. And one night after we got done waxing poetic about Radiohead, he asked me if I've ever listened to Sigur Ros, and I said no. So he gave me their second album, because the first album was kind of only available in Iceland, and in order to order it, you had to pay $40 to get it shipped over. And the answer to that question is yes, I did buy it, not once, but twice, because it got stolen from me. So, and then, of course, years later, they released it in America, and it was a lot cheaper. But anyway, listen to that second album, and it's kind of a hard thing to describe. It's hard to describe the sound of the album without actually having you listen to the album itself. So down below, of course, like always, I'm going to post links to some of their videos so you can really get a feel for the sound. But the best review I've heard in trying to describe what the album sounds like is from my friend, when he says, when you take the CD out of your CD player, you expect it to weigh 500 pounds because of the sound on the album. It's just, at one moment it's, very crystalline and very precious, very, a pretty sound. And then all of a sudden this cascade of guitars come in and it just becomes devastatingly beautiful. It's just, it almost shatters your eardrums at time. And how they achieve this sound, in one way, is the lead singer of the band at the time played his guitar with a cello bow. And it's so hard to describe to you that sound, but it really is like a cascading sort of effect. And when you listen to some of the links, if you listen to some of the links down below, especially, I can never say the Icelandic title, but I think it translates roughly to "Nice Day for an Airstrike," and it involves two kids playing soccer. When you listen to that song and you hear sort of the cascading effect of the guitar, you'll understand what I mean. But you know, this is a band that it's hard to get people into because their songs move at kind of a glacial pace. They take their time getting their point across, and you know, when you're trying to get somebody into something, you want it to be fast and quick and catchy to get them into it. And I know a lot of times when I've tried to get people into this band before, they've commented on the fact that it just sounds like funeral music, and it did. You know, it's one of those things where it has to hit you right in the moment. So, but anyway, after that album, I became a huge convert to the band, and I've bought every album of theirs since. And I just, it's one of those things that it's almost not even music. It's more just raw emotion put into an audio form. And whenever I think of Sigur Ros's sound, I think of life. And if there was ever a moment where I had to put my entire life as a sort of a montage, a Sigur Ros song is the song that I would want as the song playing on the montage. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into talking about this album here, Valtari. And while I really, really love this album and I really enjoy it, one, it's not for everyone, and you know, I don't even know if it's for every fan of Sigur Ros, because it's kind of a little bit different. Partly the reason why I'm kind of disappointed in it is because I read reviews, and the reviews compared it to I'll Guide Us by Our Yun. And so reading that, I got myself all psyched up thinking, oh my god, we're going to have these big swells of guitar again, and it's going to be very dense, and that's not the case. When they talk about it being more akin to I'll Guide Us by Our Yun, they're talking about it in relation to the last album, which I could not say the title, but it had a bunch of naked people on it running against the blue sky. And that album was very cheerful and had a very happy sound. This one kind of goes back to a more melancholic sound. And while I really enjoy that, because I'm really attracted to sort of melancholy things, it's just sort of my personality type. It's borderlines. The first half of the album is really good. The second half kind of borderlines on almost being inconsequential, because it's so ethereal and so stark and sort of precious. You know, it's a very what's the fucking word I'm looking for? It's very, I guess, ethereal is really the word. It just doesn't reach the heights of the emotional heights of sort of the other albums. It kind of keeps the same pace all throughout, except for track 3. Track 3 is about as close as it gets to sort of the classic Sigur Ros sound. That being said, while it's still very ethereal and very glacial, I still really enjoy the sound of it. But I really got myself psyched up for something different. But I don't know if they put out any videos for this album, because we're kind of getting into the post music video era. But I'll look and see if any of the songs off this are a music video, so you can kind of compare this album with some of the older stuff and see kind of what I'm getting at. But yeah, very, very beautiful stuff, but at the same time, not as immediate as some of the older stuff. This is the very definition of a grower album, and if you like Sigur Ros, you're going to like it. But if you're new to the band, I would definitely say go listen to I'll Guide Us by Our Yun, or the album, and I have to say it like this because the album cover is nothing but 2 parentheses, and the album has no title. You're supposed to title it yourself. The songs have no title. You're supposed to title them all yourselves, which is okay with me because usually when I refer to a Sigur Ros song, I'll refer to the album and say track number 3 because I can't speak a lick of this. The songs have no words on that album. It's all kind of sung in a gibberish, which is okay as well because I don't understand Icelandic and I had to make up my own meanings to the song anyway. But those 2 albums, I say, should be your entry point, and then you can sort of go into the other albums and experience that. So, I don't know. Hopefully this was interesting. This is a hard band to discuss because they're not your typical... I can't even tell you what their genre would be. Like, rock is such a generic genre in a lot of ways because so many things fit into it. But this is a band that's really... sort of in their own world, and it's one of those sounds that you really have to listen to it and experience it for yourself to get into. I guess you can really say that about a lot of Icelandic bands. There's just something about that country. Björk does her own thing. I really love the band Mum as well, and Sigur Ros. They all kind of do their own crazy thing. Funny story about Mum, which is M-U-M, and the U has like a little, accent on top of it. Couldn't think of what the fucking thing was. There was a song that I played for a friend, and she referred to the song as evil Care Bears. She imagined evil Care Bears with claws chasing after her, and I thought that was pretty great. So maybe I'll one of these days do a Mum discussion and hopefully find that song for you guys to listen to for the evil Care Bears. But yeah, there's just something crazy about Icelandic bands, and I really enjoy the sound from there. But like I said, hopefully this was interesting for you guys. I don't know. Definitely check out the links below. The band can do a lot better job of selling themselves than I can. It's really hard for me to sort of talk about this band because it's such a personal, emotional thing to describe it. So, but anyway, the next music discussion will be a little bit easier. But hopefully you guys like this, and I'll stop talking now and get on to the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Take care. Check this album out. Check the links out below. I'll see you next time.